Hi, guys, this is Maya, and welcome to the Farside podcast. And on today's episode, we will be talking to Anjolie Ware, and we're just going to dive into her life and her interests today. All right, we're just going to get right into it, Anjolie.
Okay.
So actually just tell us like a little bit about yourself and like what got you to SCAD.
Okay, so I'm a graphic designer. I have an interest in music and fashion. I chose SCAD because my older cousin went here, and I was always interested in the arts when I was a little kid. I used to go to acting classes and art classes and whatever outside of school, just to dive into more creative things. And then once I saw that it can become a career, I knew I wanted to go to art school, and SCAD just was so great with my older cousin, and she had such great things to say about it. So I kind of knew it was the school I wanted to go to since I was in like eighth grade.
I love that.
So yeah, I think just that's kind of where my interest started, just within my family, and then doing creative endeavors on my own. But yeah.
Yeah. What got you into graphic design?
Well, I used to be really interested in film, video editing, and all of those things. And then one day in one of my classes in, I think, maybe freshman year of high school, my professor asked if I wanted to do like a poster design. And I just fell in love with mixing photography, typography, and illustration. And once I found out that that's a legitimate career and I found out all the different things and ways you can go with that career, that's when I chose graphic design.
I love that. Love it. All right. Now, Anjali, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
I would say I'm very reflective, creative, and excitable.
Ooh, why reflective?
I'm very nostalgic. I think you can see it in my work and just the
Yeah.
way that I talk and write, and it just is very a part of who I am. And I think I love reflecting on past experiences and seeing how they have shaped me, or just experiences that have happened in general, and reflecting back on how that's shaped culture. Yeah, I feel like that's why.
Period. I love that. So, what inspires your work the most?
Music inspires my work the most. I love music so much. I love the history of music throughout every genre. I just love live music. I just think there's nothing like going to a concert, and not even to see the artist, just to experience the crowd is something that is like no other. It's
I
just,
completely agree.
it's really cool to see how much people love and care about a musician and how that can bring people together, and you can see people's emotions just right there on the floor. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Is there like a specific artist that like inspires you the most?
I think there's different artists from every era that inspire me. I'm definitely inspired by Led Zeppelin. I grew up listening to Led Zeppelin. My dad loved Led Zeppelin, so I think that that was a huge part of my interest growing up, is just rock music. And I'm really inspired by psychedelic music like Tame Impala, Pink Floyd, Melody's Echo Chamber. I think they bring visual identity to music in a really cool way.
Yeah.
And also just great artists. If you talk to like a fan
Mhm.
of any of those, or like anyone who's gone to a Led Zeppelin concert, just kind of things like that, I
Yeah.
feel like really inspires
No,
me.
definitely. What's the most like recent concert you've been to?
I saw Geese in November, and that was probably one of the best concerts I've been to.
Oh,
I think
fun.
they're not a newer band, but they're definitely newer to light now. And
Yeah.
um, I would say that concert was pretty transformative. I've never seen a concert like that in my
Mhm.
life. Just speaking of the crowd, like moshing, but friendly mosh. Like everyone was there and cared
I love
about each
that.
other. And like when they would start singing, when Cameron started singing, it was like everyone
Mhm.
felt that like so deeply in a way that I've really never seen at any concert
Yeah.
before. So that was definitely one my most recent and one of the coolest concerts I've
Ooh,
been to.
cool. Don't you have a poster that you made about
I do.
geese? Okay,
I
period. We can like pop it in here somewhere.
Yes. I have two. And they're both for the same song for the same reason.
Yeah.
Just again, I love work that pushes you to be reflective, and that song is a very important song, especially in today's political climate. So I've been very inspired by their music lately.
Yeah. Is there a particular piece that you've made that means a lot to you?
So I love making concert posters for fun, just as a way to like get myself, in a creative mood. It gets me out of a block. But a most recent project that I did that was purely a passion project was an Almost Famous 25th anniversary gatefold vinyl concept, which was really fun because I kind of just put everything aside that I was doing and just did something for myself that was pure fun and just pure like fangirl. Like
Yeah.
that's who I am at my core. So,
Yeah.
and like honestly a nerd. So being able to just go in and like be all about that film and look into every single aspect of that film and turn it into something visual and a celebration of a movie that I love so much was definitely the most fun and most best way I've explored my own interests in design um, in a recent project. So.
Yeah. Did you get it printed out?
No, I
I think you should get
didn't.
it printed out. I
It
think you
would be really
should.
fun.
Yeah. Even if there's no vinyl in it, I think you should.
Yeah, it would be fun to
Yeah.
have as a little
No,
decoration.
definitely. What do you want people to feel when they look at your work?
I want people to be excited and feel connected. I think, again, I focus a lot on music, and ideally, in the future, that's what I'll do as a career is just be able to work with artists for their marketing and those types of things. And there's something really important about just the way that people get together with music. So I'd love to be a part of that process. So the work I make now, even I want people to relate to it and be excited, share it with other people. There's nothing like sometimes people reach out to me if I post my stuff publicly and be like, I have this printed on my wall or like whatever, which is always really
Yeah, that
cool.
is cool.
So just people being excited and being able to share their interests with other people is probably like the best thing I want people to get out of my work.
No, definitely. Is there anything else like outside of music that kind of like touches your work a little bit?
Yeah, I think surf cultures also. I grew up going to the beach every summer in the Jersey Shore, and I surfed every summer. And I think that seeps into my work a little bit. Just knowing the history of surf and during the '90s, it intertwined with punk rock a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. And you know, David Carson, who's a great graphic designer and did the creative direction for Ray Gun magazine. I think I pull a lot of inspiration from him in that like gritty, more experimental work that I
Yeah.
think does translate into a gritty music centered style as
Mm-hmm.
well, but definitely surf culture you can see in my work as well.
Yeah. Is there like anyone specific in your life that like kind of like inspires your work at all or like touches anything that you do? Or do you feel like you just like really pull from like yourself?
I think people inspire me all the time, even people I don't know. I think it's it's funny. I love just the human experience in general. Like I said, like crowds at a concert, like I can sometimes just seeing people's expressions, or I'll take photos of just the crowd just
Mm-hmm.
to look back on and like pull from that. I think also my boyfriend does music
Yeah.
journalism, and he gets to know like these artists in interviews or what have you, and he just always knows something super cool about someone and
Mm-hmm.
knows a lot about that space as well. So being able to hear from him is really awesome.
Yeah.
And the people he hears from, sometimes those being musicians, just being able to hear those stories is really awesome and definitely inspires my work.
I love it. All right, next question. Okay, so outside of school and work, what do you enjoy doing? Just like a simple hobby.
I love to practice yoga. I'm
Period.
very into yoga and meditation. I have a lot of anxiety, and I think it helps me control it.
Yeah.
Being able to practice meditation and yoga. I love to set aside time in the day to practice yoga. It's really fun to learn the newer, or not the newer, but the higher level moves that are newer to
Mm-hmm.
me. It gives me something to focus on and challenge myself to do.
No,
So I've
definitely.
been really into practicing my yoga and getting better at that. I think that's a hobby that
Right, I
I've
love
been
that.
consistent in for a while
Yeah.
now.
When did you like pick it up? Like, is
Um,
this recent?
Probably like 4 or 5 years ago in high school, I used to
Mm-hmm.
go to yoga classes with my friends for fun, and then once I got to school, it became pretty consistent in my
Yeah.
life. So, yeah.
Period. So, like fashion wise, like your personal style, what kinds of aesthetics are you most drawn to? And then what do you think like about them draws you in?
Okay, so I think I'm inspired by the people around me a lot, and music too. Like I feel like I pull from a lot of styles from the '70s and '60s, and sort of that time for I think that was a huge time for music. So I think when I look
Mm-hmm.
at stuff from that period a lot, it definitely inspires me even in fashion.
Yeah.
I think also I've been inspired by more sporty attire, athleisure wear as well. I mean that is like an upcoming trend, but also from working at Free People Movement as like a stylist for
Yeah.
however like 2 years now, I've definitely dabbled more in sporty style and the more like athleisure wear, I guess.
Mhm.
But I definitely love more maximalist side of that. I love to throw on a bunch of jewelry or
Yeah.
a lot of colors. So I feel like that's kind of where
Mhm.
my style is right
Mhm.
now. Yeah.
Would you like consider yourself to like follow trends or kind of like make trends your own or not much like of a trend follower?
I definitely follow trends. I think I pick and choose though. Like I'm definitely not jumping on every trend. I think only the ones that I can really mend into my own personal style. I'm trying to think of one that I've been into lately. I
Barrel
think
jeans.
barrel jeans, yes, I've been really
She's
into
always
barrel
wearing her
jeans.
barrel jeans and I love them.
And I mean, it was trending like last year. I feel like this is not a
Yeah.
trend for me. Boho, like, I think
Mhm.
I'm just very inspired by that.
Yeah.
Again, like, grew up surfing, grew up going to the beach. So I think that's more integral to my personal
Mhm.
style, but definitely more boho. And then a trend that I've been into, I have to redo that part.
No, it's okay. You can keep
I'll
going. This is
rewind.
all raw.
A trend that I've been into is gorpcore, like the
So wait, I don't
hiking.
think. Ooh,
It's like a
I haven't heard of
hiking
that one
and
yet.
like it is more of a athleisure style. It's a really funny name, but it's like all the mountainous like photo shoots and then you're in like hiking pants or whatever. And I think that's a really cool style that I've been
Yeah.
into. That's a trend. It's a kind of niche trend.
Ooh.
We'll see how
Gorp.
gorp
Gorp core. Like
gorp.
GORP.
Yeah.
Gorp core.
Yeah.
So, going off of like your style, do you feel like it's more inspired by like the internet or do you think like it's more inspired by like what you see from like the people around you?
I try to be more inspired by the people around me and also nature. Um, I've, I mean, of course, the internet inspires me in a lot of different ways. I think something that I find interesting is because I'm in graphic design, visual graphics sometimes
Mhm.
inspire what I wear too. Like, I'm really into colorful designs. I find myself wearing more colors. I think it's just a form of my self expression kind
Yeah.
of seeping through those different mediums. Um, but I also think that being able to be inspired by the people around you is just more like I don't know if it's more authentic, but I have more of a reason I feel like than to
Yeah.
just be
It feels more
following what I
grounded.
see. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Is there like going off like the internet and that inspiration, like do you pull from like what you see on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest? Like is there one platform that you pull from like the
I
most?
think Cosmos and
Oh,
Pinterest
Cosmos is
are
good.
definitely
Yeah.
more where I'm looking. I don't even look at really outfit inspiration anymore. I
Mhm.
I've started making more mood boards that are just completely random photos that genuinely are just an energy that I'm trying to gravitate towards.
Yeah.
And I think that's made me branch out more in my personal style while I still bring in elements that are trending, I
Mhm.
guess. But it's been a really fun way for me to play with self-expression using like making boards that just have the color red or like whatever,
Yeah.
but they're photos that draw me in for certain reasons, but they're not necessarily exactly what I'm looking for, like a cute outfit for this
Yeah.
night, or you know what I mean?
No, I love
Yeah.
that. It's less Instagrammy and
Yes.
TikToky. No, I love that. All right. And then so what kind of trends are you tired of seeing on the internet? Like going into 2026, and then what do you want to see like more of?
I think I'm tired of quiet luxury. I
I
just
agree.
think I don't know. I think it is self-expression if that's what you're into, but I think it does take away from sometimes personality.
Mhm.
And I love when people wear like exactly what's true to them. And I think it's
Exactly.
from what I've seen, it's harder to bring that in when you're more in like your muted colors or
Mhm.
whatever with the quiet luxury. I think there's a time and place for it, but I'm kind of over it being like a casual everyday look, I think.
Yeah.
And then for stuff I'm like into now, I really am into the gorpcore for real. Like it's so cool.
Yeah.
I love like the just mixing the elements. I also it's not really a trend, but I'm really into like Australian style too, like that beachier
Ooh,
style.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
like the way that they wear their flip flops with different outfits and
Mhm.
things like that. I think is so cute. And I'm kind of drawn to their style a lot as well. But I think a trend that I'm into is probably the gorpcore like sporty
Yeah.
aesthetic with like the more like windbreaker pants or like different almost utility
Mhm.
style clothes. But yeah,
Yeah. Perfect. Let's see. How do you think that your style has evolved as you've grown up, like creatively, like with your work, but also like personally?
with my work, I think again going back to the mood board thing, like when I was younger and I was learning how to design, and I think this is a great way to learn how to design,
Mhm.
is I would look at stuff on Pinterest, like look up the exact thing, like designing this for this, and I look at all the photos and I'd almost recreate them. I think that helped me learn my technical skills
Yeah.
and like helps me understand composition and things like that, and I definitely recommend it when you're starting out. But I think as I've sort of grown into my own style, I've brought in a lot of research and analytics and what's trending right now
Mhm.
culturally, what I'm seeing visually, and that's kind of helped me find my style more. And then pulling from things like music, like I was saying, like I think that's really integral to my style, is being
Yeah.
able to translate a theme of a song or a theme of an album and turning it into something like a poster or merchandise,
Mhm.
which I think I have gotten into in my style. But I definitely think my visual style is bright, almost unexpected designs. But yeah, and then my personal style, I think I've definitely done a lot of experimenting growing up, and like my Emma Chamberlain, like Brittany Melville plaid
Yes,
pants, and
yes.
I've gone through the phases, and I still have a lot of that clothing. But I think now I'm sort of just finding what I like, and I'm leaning less on trends and more just what appeals to me.
Yeah.
I think even though I love bright colors and more eclectic things, I think
Mhm.
I've toned down what I wear into more basics, and then I've elevated them with like, fun colored rings or, different colored patterns on different things. I
Yeah.
love pattern mixing, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Is there like a trend that you participated in like when you were like younger, like middle school or like even early high school that you like absolutely regret?
I do like think the plaid pants had a time and place, and I loved them, but I styled them like I was like it looked like I was wearing pajama pants, like let's be
Yeah.
real. Or I think, what was I really into? I was into these flare pants that were not like flared jeans, they were flared pants,
Mhm.
and they were little crops. They kind of looked like a flood pant. That was nightmarish, and they were really bright colors. And then I would wear graphic tees and like a long sleeve
Yeah.
underneath. It was just a little bit like too much.
Yeah.
I
No, I
definitely
get it.
regret that, but I think otherwise, like, I'm happy I went through those phases because they got me to
Yeah.
where I am now.
No, exactly.
But those ones were a little rough for
Yeah. Were
sure.
you like ever into like the 2020 like scrunchy like hydro flat
My
like
like Visco girl vibe. I did
yeah.
have a Visco girl summer in 2019. I was wearing all my graphic tees from, what's that brand called? Junk Food Tees, I think.
Mhm.
They used to carry them at Urban Outfitters.
Yeah.
Loved those. And I would always wear my Birkenstocks and little Under Armour shorts or the Sophie shorts. So yeah,
Mhm.
I would definitely, that summer was, I did dabble in the 2020s
No, yeah.
trend or
That's honestly
2019
so perfect,
trend.
like Jersey Shore.
Yes,
Like that's like
it
the
was
perfect
it
place
was
to do it,
almost
honestly.
functionality.
You
Like
kind of
it
had
was
to.
functional. Yeah, exactly.
No, exactly. And what parts of culture do you feel like are most like present today in like your work?
I think culturally right now I'm really leaning into analog designs and
Mm,
experimenting with more hand-drawn things. I think right now the conversation around AI and to use it, to not use it, what do you use it for?
yeah.
I think the trend of analog is going to become big, and I've been using it in my own work almost as an act of resistance,
Hmm.
because AI can replicate so many things, but it can never replicate your touch. It can never replicate
Exactly.
your DNA. Um, so I've definitely been into more analog styles with what's
Hmm.
going on culturally, definitely with the AI shift. I just think that being able to see people be more authentic and raw is an act of resistance against AI,
Yeah.
which I think is definitely something I've been culturally
Hmm.
doing. But
Yeah. Do you use AI at all, like in your work or like in your process?
I mean, I do talk about it as like kind of a questionable thing. I think it's tough. I do use it for making body copy for projects sometimes, if like I'm doing a massive book, for example, and it's just me on my own and it's just for visuals. I've definitely used it to make copy for me. It's a time saver, especially when it doesn't matter towards what I'm doing. It's
Yeah.
just kind of like there to fill in the project. And I think sometimes it is helpful for getting some clarity in, like, maybe I'm reading something and I read it over and I don't quite get it yet, and I need a
Hmm.
little clarity maybe with my response, like if I have a response written out, and then I'll be like, well, is it, does this make sense, like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because sometimes I do struggle with like getting my thoughts out
No,
in
I
a
get
way that
that.
makes sense, because I love to ramble. So
No, same.
sometimes it does help for that, but I definitely don't use it for like design work. I just think that there's no reason. Like, I don't
Yeah.
use it for helping me make designs. I just don't see the need. I enjoy doing it by myself, and I just don't love training it to do
No,
that.
yeah, I agree.
So yeah.
I completely agree. Okay, to kind of like wrap everything up, I just have one more question. So, what's on the horizon for you that feels both exciting or maybe like a little nerve-wracking?
Um,
Like, what's coming in Anjali's future? Or what do you
in
see?
Anjali's future, I have an internship this summer that I'm really excited about. I'm definitely a little bit like nervous, but I'm way more excited than I am nervous.
Yeah.
Just be able to work with like a team of professionals that
Mm-hmm.
are great and very talented at what they do, and that'll be a fun learning experience for me and just something like a place I was really excited for. So I'm very excited for that. And then, I mean, long term future goals again, would love to work at a record label
Yeah,
doing artist marketing.
definitely.
But the most set in stone exciting thing is that I'm doing an internship that I'm very excited about.
No
So,
love. What about like in between like now and like graduation? Like, is there anything like outside of your internship?
what am I doing between now and graduation? I don't know. That's
I
a
don't
good
know,
question.
I don't know. Do you know of any like projects or like your capstone or anything like
We don't have
that?
a capstone.
I don't have a
Mm-mm.
capstone. Oh my god, wait, I'm really gagged right now.
You can cut that.
Oh
Um, yeah, I don't think so. So
my
maybe
god,
just
wait,
cut that
that's
completely because I don't
crazy.
have the.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
even
I
know if
I
we have.
can cut it. Or like
Um,
any projects that you've heard of, or like, are you looking for like more collaboration with like people outside of your major, like the rest of the time
yeah,
you're here at SCAD?
I'm definitely excited to jump into more projects senior year that I can assist on. Like, I know everyone of my friends in fashion design will be doing their senior projects, so I'd love to
So
do
true. Yeah.
creative direction or, for video or, branding for that. So that would be really fun. But between now and senior year, I just want to get as much experience with collaboration as I can. I would love to get more opportunities doing stuff with musicians or maybe while I'm in school, internship with like a music
Yeah,
label or something like
that
that.
would be
But
really
that's
cool.
those are aspirations. So
Perfect. Well, I think that's everything we have for today.
thank you for
So,
having
of
me.
course, thank you for coming on, Anjali. And if you want to check out more, you can go to our website, which is farside.com. And then our issue will be published in, I believe, spring of this year. So, looking forward to that. But thank you for joining us.